Oil prices have been moving up over the last few weeks. And what that's going to do for oil companies is essentially raise their revenue, increase their profits and cash flows. It's really good news for oil companies. Therefore, it's good to have some oil stocks in my portfolio. And I wanted to take a look at some additional stocks that I want to think about adding to further bolster my energy portfolio. Oil and oil companies tend to be a hedge on the economy. It tends to go up when everything else is going down. And it certainly played out that way over the last couple of weeks. Oil prices have really been going up. And the tension in the Middle East doesn't seem to be slowing down. It's actually probably going to get a little uglier. I hope it doesn't, but that's just reality. I'm watching the news and it seems that there's going to be a tick for tack, long term activity between Iran and Israel. We'll see how that plays out. I hope not a lot of people get hurt. I hope nobody dies, most importantly. But it is going to send oil prices up. And oil prices at above $80 per barrel would really make oil companies profitable. So let me share with you oil companies and oil stocks that I'm keeping an eye on and will consider buying in the next 30 days. I wanted to ask for your consideration of being a paid member of the community. I've got three plans. One's $10, one's $25, one's $100. Each level has a different level of perks and benefits for you. You can take a look at the details in a link that I've provided in the video description. Keep in mind there is a special offer. If you sign up under the least expensive plan, which is $10, you'll automatically be upgraded to the $25 plan. And that offer expires on the 6th. After the 6th, it'll just be the three options. So take advantage of that offer if it's something you want to do. The choices among oil companies varies from very well-known, very large caps like Exxon and Chevron, very well-known companies, as well as Shell is very well-known, Total in Europe, ConocoPhillips here in the US, and on and on. But there are also some more mid-cap oil companies and even small caps. Now, I'm not going to venture into the small cap space within the oil company space. I think it's too risky for me, but I'm going to pick out a couple mid-cap stocks that I think are really attractive and show those to you. I currently don't own Exxon, but I've owned it in the past, and it's a really good option for me. It's a big cap at 544 billion. The PE is very reasonable at around 15. It pays a nice dividend of 3%. It's a buy rating according to analysts that are valuing the company based on earnings per share. I really like their balance sheet, which is very healthy, and I really love their cash flow, which are very high. Energy companies tend to have excellent cash flow and will be paying very good dividends as well as buying back shares when it's attractive to do so. So I like Exxon as an additional stock in my portfolio. Chevron is another very well known company, and you probably have filled up at Chevron recently if you're like me. And it has a large cap of 276 billion. I've been a Chevron stockholder for a long time. Revenue is at 195 billion. Again, it has a very reasonable PE of 15, and analysts say that it's further discounted, better discount than Exxon. And I could certainly attest that the stock hasn't been performing all that great for the past year. But that could mean that it has really good upside ahead. It pays a nice dividend at 4.31%. I'm glad I own Chevron. I'm going to continue to have this as my primary energy stock. I love their cash flow. I love their profitability. I like their strategy. They're making an acquisition that's going to make them bigger. So overall, I like Chevron. Let me show you how I value Chevron. I think that Chevron is discounted by 64%. If I look at the value of the free cash flows and I look at the value of the earnings per share that I expect in the company, that's a really fantastic discount. And I think as oil prices rise, so will this stock price. Marathon Petroleum has really been climbing. And the reason for it is this company really has produced a lot of free cash flow as well as profits. It's a $58 billion market cap company, so it's a mid cap stock. The revenue is almost three times that market cap, which is impressive. Their PE is really low in the current year. It's going to rise to about 16.85 in the future. It's a buy rating and it's discounted. Most of these stocks seem to be discounted based on earnings per share because oil prices were over $10 less expensive about a month ago. So that rise in oil price is really making these stocks favorable. Another mid-cap stock that I am considering is Occidental Petroleum. This is a stock that Warren Buffett really likes, and he's been buying into it. With lower oil prices, the price of Occidental was down, but now with higher oil prices, the stock's really beginning to rally. If oil prices continue to go up and go into the 80s, you better bet Occidental is really going to rally. And as a finale, let me cover a small cap stock. In this case, it's Pump, and they're tiny. They're less than $1 billion of market cap, But this company really has a business that rallies and does great when oil prices go up because they support fracking in the oil complex. The company does about 2 times its market cap and revenue. It has a higher PE, but it's still a buy according to analysts who think it's discounted by 42%. Let me show you the discount that I've calculated for Pump. I believe that Pump is 45% discounted, principally because their cash flows are so good. This is a very profitable company. As we see oil prices rise, the demand on the services that Pump provides to oil companies will really increase. So I think it's a really good time for me to get back into Pump. I've been a stockholder in the past, but currently don't own any shares. The community has been talking about oil stocks for about a month, and I'm really glad that people were looking at oil stocks when the looking was really good. Stock prices were lower, oil prices were lower, and we talked about how that was the right time to be looking at them. It's a little early in the rally, I would say, because as oil prices go up, these stocks will continue to rally. The tension in the Middle East, as well as Russia and Ukraine, will continue to keep oil prices elevated, in my opinion. Again, that's just an opinion of mine. And with any of these stocks, I'm sharing my personal investing journey. I'm not recommending that you buy, hold, or sell any of the stocks that I covered. Please make your decisions very carefully. I really appreciate you watching the video, and let me wish you the best of success in investing going forward.